quitting Discord. Sweet. All right, stream is live. I believe we might want to check.
Yeah, I have an ad rolling right now, so it should be coming up after this.
Oh, okay.
You know?
I won't bother going.
Can you guys hear an air conditioner loudly in the background? Okay, cool.
No.
Very nice.
Maybe a slight rustling of the leaves, but that's not it.
Yeah.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to League of Legends Anonymous Podcast, episode 276. We are here today to celebrate something very special. First, we have Wormlax, of course, back with us again, and then an old friend, Danger. Hey, guys, what's up?
You know, just hanging. I got this thing tonight, the LOLA podcast. I don't know if you guys have heard about it. Yeah, I'm going to be on it tonight. It's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I've not heard about this.
Oh, you should listen sometime. It's pretty cool.
Yeah?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Yeah. You, Danger? What are you up to, bud?
I've had a pretty good couple of weeks of flex ranked queue. So
Flex? Isn't that what you play with friends?
No, it's not. You play it solo. You don't need to have friends to play in flex queue. In fact, I think I have a negative win percentage when I play with friends.
I know, I definitely do.
That line delivery on the flex, isn't that what you played with friends? That's like the episode of The Office where they're talking about suicide in the office, and he's like, suicide or depression, isn't that just a fancy word for being sad? Like, you ignorant slut. Just that line delivery, it was like the same thing. I'm off track.
I do what I can.
Finest episodes of The Office. Ignorant slut.
Why, you ignorant slut?
That's like early Office too, I believe. Right?
I think it's like middle of the road, probably like season 3 or 4.
No, yeah, that's Prime Office territory.
Yeah, Prime Office seasons. Yeah.
Cool.
But yeah, Diamond, congrats.
Yeah, so all you people out there who say Diamond Flex Q, not that impressive, fuck you. Don't care. I'm really happy that I hit Diamond. It only took me 8 years of playing this game and being hard stuck plat for the last 5.
Well, you got stupid close last season, if I remember. What were you?
I had two Diamond promos.
That's like you're basically there, dude.
Basically there, but I went 0-3-1 in one of my promos, and the other one I 1 win, 1 loss, or 1 loss, 1 win, then 2 more losses. And so let's talk a little bit about ranked solo queue to get us started here. Just delve back into last season, which in my opinion wasn't as bad as this season as far as the personalities that you encounter.
Okay.
But in that Diamond, Hopeful, Danger, Penguin time, he had won 1 and he had lost 1, and he had played pretty good in both, and the second loss was a close game, nothing to be too upset at. Queue up for that third game. Riven dies twice top. Riven doesn't play the rest of the game. You've all been there in solo queue, and I'm like, okay, I can keep my head about me. It's okay. This is not the end of the road. I queue up for that 4th game, and I'm like, all right, we can definitely do this. Load in. And now I know, see, I can't leave queue. That's the problem, right? Because you lose your game if you dodge. I start off with 2 people being like, I can't believe you're in my fucking queue again. And I'm like, oh no. And then I'm like, can one of you dodge, please? I can see that you're not in a good headspace for this game. Now,
they say yes, of course, right?
I didn't say this, but one of them is hovering Nunu, and the other, and that's the ADC, and then the other one is hovering like it was like a Karma jungle, and I'm like, okay, then maybe they're just fucking with it. And don't worry, they were. They queued with normal people. I think it was like Vayne and like Lee Sin. And then they proceeded to yell at each other. The jungler invades early by himself with no support, dies, quits. That was game. That was the end of my hopeful Diamond series.
That's a whole Shakespearean play right there. Like those 3 lines. Like, Jesus.
So I know that you guys listened. I think it was last week or the week before when we were talking about Voy Boys, right?
Yeah.
So we're talking about Voy Boy. Talk about how the current state of solo queue is very negative, and I think most of us have experienced that. Now, I've gone on swings in my ranked solo queue this year. I went on like a 64% win rate, went all the way up to Plat 2 promos. I then lost 16 or 14 games in a row to bring me all the way back to Plat 4 0 LP. Then I went back up to Plat 2 promos with like a 13 game win streak, and then I went back down. And in that time, you're having a lot of ranked anxiety and you're having a lot of difficult experiences. Now, I've known a little bit around the LOLA community for not tilting too bad in games. You know, like that's one of my skills. I'm also very good at getting carried. Yes, that's a skill. We've talked about it. I'm
Yeah.
very good
No,
at
it's real. I think, I mean, you're one of my favorite shot callers. I think you're one of the better shot callers of Lola. Also, because you constantly give information based on what's happening currently, and don't just make a call, silence. And it's like, yeah, that was the good call maybe then, but like maybe we should have pulled off Baron later, those kinds of things. So,
I
yeah.
appreciate that. So I can get carried and I can make a few shot calls while I'm getting carried.
True.
You know, like so I have that going for me. So I don't get tilted too quick in solo queue. But I do get sad in solo queue. You know, like just like as we were talking about, I'm an ignorant slut because I'm in depression when I'm in solo queue. Because it doesn't need to be that way. You don't need to die twice. So earlier today, I played a ranked solo queue game. It was my plat. I was in plat 3. I got demoted back to plat 4. And in that game, the top died twice, and that's okay. It wasn't a good matchup for top, and I understand that. And you can die, and that's not a problem. We had bot lane, which was up 3 kills, right? So it's only 3-2 right now. It's not a problem. Well, they didn't quit to their, credit, I guess, but they just stopped trying to play. They stopped communicating, they stopped moving, and they stopped even like standing close enough to the wave to get experience. They just literally stood under their tower, and when it came in, because it was like, if I'm going to be on this island alone, I'm not going to stand anywhere near this.
Right.
So he did his. We lost. There was no reason to take it to that point that quickly, right? I know it gets frustrating in lane. Everyone gets frustrated when they die. I get really frustrated when I make a great engage and my ADC decides to walk backwards, right? Because he's like, oh, I don't want to be anywhere near this. I'm like, what are you talking about? I just got the cat. The fucking Yumi cat was outside the body. I taunted it. It can't go in the body anymore. We just kill the cat.
Kill the cat.
No, you don't. I stand there, I take a ton of shots, I walk away, I still live, but like it's a great engage gone to waste. So we've all been there. It's frustrating, but it's just solo queue right now is so deterministic. It's this happens, so the rest of the game is done, and we're all along for the ride at that point. Do you guys have any better experiences in solo queue the last month or so?
No, I was actually going to interject that I've kind of felt very similar with the way my ranked has gone recently. I've been pretty much maining ADC this season because top lane, the island, I just have kind of gotten over it. And one game that sticks out to me, I was in bot lane with my duo queue partner, and we're rolling. We're like three kills up, ton of CS, doing really well. Our jungler is ahead. Our top laner is doing like okay, but not great. And our jungler at one point ganks for our Kassadin mid. Our Kassadin's 0-0 at this point. No one's died, maybe down a little bit CS. And the Kayn, after ganking mid, takes some CS. So the Kassadin says,
oh no.
Yeah, oh no, he took some CS. So the Kassadin says, don't ever gank my lane again if you're going to take CS. Which the Kayn maturely responds with, I'll take CS when I want to. And that's when the Kassadin proceeded to AFK. And so, okay, this sucks. It's a 45, but we're actually still really far ahead. And I'm like, we might be able to just close out this game before they can come back and make it back in the 4v5. Kassadin had other plans. He comes back, to check if, the game is forfeited or anything. And he sees it's not, so he buys Mobies and he runs it down mid, thus feeding their enemy mid laner who was behind at this point. And we lost from there because he AFK'd again and it was 4v5 and he also fed. And that just kind of sums up my ranked experience this season, that it's like either we're far enough ahead in bot lane that like things go well and we win the game, or one person takes it into their hands to say, I'm done with this game, this is not fun. And I almost feel like I think there still is that disparity of games. There are enough games you could play in a season that at the end of the day you would climb if you are better than the rank you're at. I think that still is true, but I think it's harder than it used to. I think it has, because of the way that people will give up games so much easier, I think that's become harder. I think like in a past season where I could hit high plat within my first like 100, 200 games, and then I would like struggle to get to diamond if I actually wanted to get there, which I've only done once. But I can't even get, like, I've been stuck plat 4 0 LP to plat 4 like 80 LP for like the past few weeks of just these constant like.
Yeah. That's been the last 2 seasons, right?
Yeah,
right there.
And now my MMR is fucked. So I won like 3 games the other day with 16 LP per win, and then I lost a couple games with 19 LP loss per game.
Yeah.
And it feels, it's like, yes, that day was technically a net gain for me, but it was so minuscule. It's like, do I care about my rank enough that I want to keep forcing myself mentally to play this way? Like, is that worth it to climb?
Yeah.
So I don't think it is for me anymore.
No, I don't think so either, man.
Like, back in the day when I actually made my first push to diamond, I was thinking like, okay, I'll hit diamond. Like, I'll probably still need a lot of work on my play, but like maybe I can even force to higher diamond and even think about like amateur play and stuff like that. Like, that was my goal. I had a very clear goal with why I was playing. And that now it's like, I'm never going to go like even amateur. I'm never going to do that. That's not my plan in life anymore. So it's like, do I care enough to put myself through the toxicity of ranked to get a certain rank when I mostly play with like a 3 to 5 man squad every night anyways? So
yeah.
Dude,
okay, yeah, so like this past week has been just atrocious. And like I think this one game in particular really sums it all up for me. But this guy pops up with like Q pops or whatever, everybody loads in, and he immediately starts copy pasting, or he copy pastes his Professor GG link of like everybody's stats, right? And then starts calling out like negative win rates. Like that's his first thing, right?
Positive.
Right? Like we're off to like a fucking stellar start right there. And I was like, oh, this app is interesting. What does this do? And then he starts, shit talking in chat. I'm like, oh god, this enables bullshit like this. Fuck you, man. And then like, everything is and then like the game starts. Nothing stupid happens. Everyone has fine picks. No one starts raging, and I'm like, it's gonna be fine. Like, whew, we're okay. And then the first thing, I think within the first like 4 minutes, when their enemy jungler Graves goes to get Scuttle, I've already got it.
The first problem is that you left Graves up.
No. Hold on. I knew what Scuttle he was going to. I warded it ahead of time. When he got there, I had my lane pushed. I went over and basically solo killed him mid. Like, it was awesome. And the other mid laner didn't come help or anything. He was dealing with the wave. And I had a Nocturne on my team. And he, like, kind of helps, but not really. But I gave him Scuttle afterwards by helping him kill it and letting him have the last hit. And I was like, I'm still ahead in CS when I get back to lane. I'm like, Rocker, stellar fucking start. And, like, bot lane's doing fine. I think they get a double kill or something immediately. And then that Renekton top who posted the Professor GG link, like, instantly dies, and he starts feeding from there on out. Yeah, anyway, so the Graves went 0-4 in the first 10 minutes of the game. But my Nocturne went 0-5 in the first 10 minutes of the game. Despite the fact that I killed his jungler and gave him Scuttle, and then the Renekton top lane who posted that link proceeded to go 1-7 the rest of the game. So it was just a hopeless cause.
So here we are, 3 hopeless LOLA podcasters in solo ranked queue. And what's a podcaster to do at this point? I had fallen back to Plat 4, and I was like, my Zyra win rate, which was 64%, is now all of a sudden 48%. And I'm like, I'm a one-trick Zyra, and I have a negative win rate. I need a break. I need to relax. So I go to FlexQ, and I'm like, hey, let's try out a few things. I had a lot of fun playing Swain the other day. Now, something I encourage people to do is try new picks in FlexQ. It's a competitive queue, but you can try out new things because it is FlexQ. It's not as competitive as solo ranked in that sense, right?
Mhm.
But I have caught a few people in FlexQ where they're trying a champion out for the first time ever. Give it a go in normals first. 5 games in
Not
normals.
a cold start. Yeah.
Get a feel for the kit. What does Q do? Do I level E? Just basic level things. But then once you got that down, go ahead and bring it into Flex. I have no problem with that. You can be playing your 6th game on a guy in Flex. Go for it. So I had played a little bit of Swain in Flex, and I'm like, I had a lot of, or in normals. I think I played it in a custom game. One of our
You're playing it with us, yeah.
Yeah, and it was a lot of fun, and I was like, oh, people don't really. I like picks that not a lot of people took. It really bummed me out in like season 7 when Zyra became popular, and I was like, what the fuck? Now all of a sudden Zyra's getting banned, and I have to figure out how to play someone else. This isn't any fun, because all of a sudden she just like took off because the Koreans started playing her, and she was really strong, and so for a while there, I had to actually fight for my.
So you played Zyra before it was cool? Is that what I'm hearing?
I played Zyra long before.
All right,
it was cool.
I just making sure.
It had the better Q. I liked her old Q a lot more than her new Q.
Sure.
Better plants too.
A little trampoline.
Better plants, better ingredients.
So I picked up Swain, and I was like, Swain, that's a pick that's not very common. You're not going to get banned out as Swain, and you're not going to get overpicked for Swain very often, right? So I had a lot of fun with Swain and Flex Q, and I started climbing. I was like gold 2, gold 3, and I hit like plat 4, plat 3, and I was like, oh, that was fun. And I took him into solo queue after trying him out in Flex, and that's something that I encourage people to do too. If you find a pick that works for you, try it out in solo queue. And it did really well for me in solo queue. I think I still have a 54% win rate on Swain right now. But then, the depression started again. I went up to like plat 2 promos, and I fell back to like plat 3 0 LP, and I was like, Danger Penguin, reset the mechanism, go back to your home. Go back to Flex Q. So one of my main points that I found in Flex Q so far, so think about it, I'm at like plat 3 right now. The toxicity is significantly less. Now, don't get me wrong. You're still going to find assholes. You're going to find assholes everywhere in League. You're going to find them in normals. You're going to find them in Flex. But you find them a lot in solo queue. In Flex, I'm playing by myself, right? So I'm normally paired with 2 duos or a 3 and a single, okay? Let's say one of those 2 duos is feeding. They're less likely to quit because they're playing with their friend. Let's say, thinking about it, right? Let's say there's 3 playing together and they really want to win, and one of the solos isn't playing well. They're also less likely to flame that one because the other 3 are together and they're trying to win. Yeah. I find the flame in game, even when people are doing really bad, far less aggressive in Flex Q. And I think it's because a lot of times you're playing with a friend.
You're accountable to folks, yeah.
So as long as one of those friends is doing well, it'd be like, keep your head in it, dude. I'm gonna carry us, right?
Sure.
Because you have that friend who's like, oh fuck, but I'm like 3-0. I know you're 0-5, but I think I can do this. All right. So I mean, I've played this many times in normal games with our community where I'm like, it's okay. Play safe. Daddy
Danger's got it. It's all right.
Yeah, well, it's normally not me carrying. Remember, I get carried, but but Zill will carry us. Don't worry about it.
No.
He's got late game Teemo shrooms.
Actually, we've seen that work a couple times, but yeah.
We absolutely have, as they walk through a minefield and kill themselves on the way to Baron. What have you? I know you play a lot of Flex, Wormlax. What is kind of your feeling on the toxicity level?
Yeah, it's funny. It definitely lower toxicity, and it's funny because I have almost like a completely opposite experience to you with Flex Queue. Because if I'm playing Flex Queue, it's absolutely there's either 3 or 5 of us as a full team. So we play a lot of that, and that is like, I don't know if you guys play a lot of normals, but I play a shit ton, or I used to play a shit ton of normals, still do, and my normal MMR is like insane. Every game, like I literally played against a master the other day in normal games. So me and my friends are always trying to hit flex queue because we literally get more fun games because it's not like master and diamond tier players we're playing against. And we do get like, every once in a while you get that diamond player that's playing with their gold friends and stuff like that, and it can be difficult. But like flex queue is been just so much more fun. Like it's way more, yeah, like you said, it's less toxic. We don't force ourselves into playing our main roles. Like a lot of time, we literally go full fill on our team, and just everyone plays different champs, and you get to try out different things. And yeah, I think I'm like just sitting around like gold 2 in Flex Queue. Like we don't play it probably as often as you do with being able to solo it all the time. Like when we're playing, it's kind of on and off between like flex and normals and like solo duo. I don't really have like a set goal with any of them. But yeah, I think a huge part of that is just like the inherent like motivations behind it, right? Like people want to climb in solo queue. They want to have a good solo queue rank. They want to be able to brag about it, and like no one really brags about their flex queue rank. And
Oh, they do.
well, now they do.
They do now.
Like I think it's obviously like you hit diamond. Like that's an achievement no matter which queue it's in to me. But it's obviously like you even said it yourself. It's not as competitive as solo queue. So I think there is something to be said that a diamond player in like diamond and solo queue is better than diamond and flex. But like you've been plat every season, you've hit literally promos to diamond. You are in my mind, like you're just as good as any other diamond player at diamond 4 because like you were literally one or two games away from getting that. So, and holy shit, the diamond 4, like diamond 5, what it used to be, like that mentality is literally the most toxic mentality in League of Legends. It's the worst.
Yeah.
The one season I got there, I literally stopped playing in solo queue because I'm like, holy crap, everyone in here is either a plat 1 trying their ass off to make that last hump, or is a diamond 5 who's just like playing to keep out of decay and doesn't give a shit what happens. They're like, if we lose this game, who cares? I've got 20 LP in diamond 5. I'm not going down to plat.
It's like the ski lift from hell where like some are going up and some are just miserably going down.
Yeah, so I mean, if you hit anywhere between like high plat 1 and diamond, like you're diamond in my eyes personally, but obviously you can't show off the border unless you have it. So
exactly. Yeah. So along with that, so like you said, people don't often try as hard in flex, or even what I've always encouraged people to do is try hard in flex, but be flexible. Like you can try a new role, you can try a new champion. That can be fun for you, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, but it should be more of a competitive environment because people are you still never want to see negative LP show up, right? Like in normal queue, you don't see it, right? You lost 8 in a row, your MMR is going down, but you don't see it, so you don't care as much about it. So I feel that Flex still offers that. It's almost like that medium road, right? Solo queue is toxic and miserable because everyone's trying their ass off, or is just a 12-year-old bitch, like one of the two, like
no in between.
I feel like the 12-year-old bitches have truly taken over with our experience.
They don't have school to go to. We're screwed.
And Riot won't ban them, so they're like, there's more of them than ever before, But then Flex is that competitive area where you're not getting that level. So I hit plat 3 in Flex, and I'm like, I never want to be plat and flex because then I can't play with my silver friends in flex, right? When we're doing LOLA community games, it's very hard to. So I'm plat 3, and I'm like,
but that's what you have Clash for in normals, right?
And so then I'm like, you know what I'm gonna do, Swain? I have like a 58% win rate right now. I'll learn a new character, right? I'll figure out someone new that I have fun with, and we'll try him out, and maybe I'll demote back to gold, right? And I find my boy Galio. Galio support, not often played. should be often played. The CC control is insane. Your early game damage is insane. No one expects you to, at level 2, you pop them up, you taunt them, and then you slam your fist down with your passive, and all of a sudden, your ADC hasn't hit them yet, and they're at 40% health. It's so fucking stupid. But I played Galio back when he was full tank top Galio. That's actually what got me to plat that season. Was like season 6 or season 8 when he just switched over to his new role. You know, like the rework that they had done on him, and you could go full tank top, and I had a lot of fun with that. That was what I did with him, and so I was comfortable with his kit. And they had changed some things. I didn't like when they turned him into an AP instant blast, right? That got all the Reddit memes going crazy. And then they gutted him for a while, and they took away his taunt flash, and then no one was playing him. And so I was like, I always like Galio. Let me try him out. And then I started climbing again. I'm plat 3, and then I'm plat 2, and then I'm plat 1, and I'm like, now I'm taking this shit seriously. I don't care if other people aren't taking it seriously. I would love to hit diamond, and right now my MMR is going crazy. I'm getting like 24 LP for a win, 25 LP for a win, because I don't know what it is right now. I think I have a 76% win rate in flex with Galio.
Wow.
So I just started skyrocketing, and it was, and then obviously I've now hit diamond, and it was playing all Galio and Swain basically support. 2 people I picked up this season. I had never played Galio support before. I'd never played Swain support before this season. I had played Galio some. I'd never played Swain. Old Swain, new Swain, didn't really play him at all. So when I was doing that, I started thinking about, I would love to bring this up on a podcast. I've been a Zyra one trick for like 4 years, right? I love Zyra. I think that she's a great character. But maybe I needed some time away. Sometimes you just need a break.
Take some space.
From your main bitch. You know, you just got to take a little bit of a break from her. And you might find that you can climb and you can do better with possibly a different kit, maybe a different role. You know, like you get so stuck in your mind. Like I was so stuck in my mind in solo queue. Well, if I'm going to play solo queue, I have to play Zyra because I want to climb.
Right.
Why else am I playing solo queue if I'm not trying to climb? And I'm not taking it seriously if I bring in anyone other than Zyra. No, don't get me wrong. I have a decent Leona. I have a decent, like a decent Alistair, even though he's not really in a good spot right now. But like there are other supports that I can play. I'm not only a one trick. I do know all the kits. But in my head, I'm thinking the only way I can climb is if I'm maining Zyra. And then all of a sudden my comp comes in and I'm like, Zyra's a troll pick right here. So now I have to take something else, right?
Sure.
Because we have 3 AP and no tanks.
Yeah.
And then if I take Zyra, they're going to be like, fuck you, dude, even though I'm a one trick. So then, so you go to flex queue and you start finding possibly some other things that work. Now, going to Swain wasn't the best move because you're the same damn thing. I'm still though with Swain, I can get a lot tankier. Okay, I can get a lot tankier with Swain. His ult, along with an early, Rod of Ages, you can stay alive a surprising amount of time. There's nothing you can do with Zyra to stay alive. But I found
he's less bursty though, right? Like, I don't know.
What's that?
He's less bursty though. Like it's like a bit of a trade-off. Like you don't.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Especially later in the game, you still have, because I go electrocute with him. You still have a really good burst when you can pull match you, Q, hit electrocute proc. It can be decent. But yes, later in the game you're a little bit less burst, but you offer a little bit more utility. I love his passive. His passive is so useful late game at locking down a carry, right? Because not only are they knocked up, you wait until they get, you wait until they start coming down, and then you right click on them. So now you've also pulled them for another 0.5 seconds. That 0.5 seconds plus the knock up of a second, 80 carry who's fed to shit, still dead.
Yeah.
So, but it really opened my eyes. Like, I've been one tricking Zyra and I've been losing in solo queue, and all of a sudden I find this new guy that I have got 10 games under my belt and I start climbing again. So what I was thinking is, the community should hear that sometimes you get too stuck in your own head. Like, okay, I'm a Yasuo one trick, like Zill, he's a Yasuo one trick. He just loves
Obviously.
Yep.
character.
That's why his name's
Absolutely
built
loves it.
Mhm.
And so, I like the flashy plays, just like Zill. He loves, tornadoes. It's all very
Wind walls are my favorite.
Yes.
Particular.
Wind wall, it's not overpowered. It's perfectly normal.
Extra passives,
So,
no resource costs. Sorry.
But maybe you're stop climbing with Yasuo because you need a break from Yasuo. Maybe
Or you're
you could
12-year-old
actually
bitch.
climb with someone else. Maybe someone like Zillion. Who knows? It could be out there. But I would encourage you to get out of your own head and maybe try something else, but commit to it. Like don't go into a normal game, try a character once and be like, well, that wasn't for me. Give it a shot. Learn the kit and see if it actually can suit your playstyle. And you might find that it works really well for you. I certainly did. I have found 2 new characters that I enjoy playing. It's refreshed my enjoyment of the game, and it really opened up a new path for me to go. Now I have a really good tank in Galio that I can go when my team needs a tank, and I have a middle level for that AP. So it really opened things up for me and allowed me a little more flexibility in the draft.
Yeah, I think that getting any kind of like stagnation in League can be very champion heavy. Like the season that I did hit Diamond, I mained Renekton. And like that season, it was great. Like I ran through top laners all the time, played Renekton really well, and like it was probably my easiest season to climb is when I actually hit Diamond. And then like I've had even like this season, past seasons where it's like I feel like I'm just not doing anything as Renekton. Every lane, I'm not getting a lead. Once I don't get a lead as Renekton, the game gets a lot harder. And then it's like I just feel like, man, I can't do anything. And I've added Gragas top to my like picks. And Gragas is like he's so much fun. Like your combos, you can do a lot of different stuff. People who don't understand Gragas when playing against the top lane, like you can catch him off guard with
he's
your
old school, but he's a CC machine in his own right. Like
yeah. And so and it's great for an AP pick if your team is trying to force into full AD. And so like when I did that, I haven't played him as much recently in ranked specifically, but like that was a huge breath of fresh air to wow, I feel like I have a pick that I can play into some of the people I was hating playing against in top lane. And so I think it's really easy to get forced into, like you said, that mindset of, oh, I can't climb unless I'm playing this one champion I'm good at. And I think you have to break out of that, especially since like it's still a video game. Like if you're not having fun playing the person that you've been playing for like 4 years or something.
What are you doing with your life and your free time?
Play someone else. Sure. And because the second you start enjoying the game again, like if you're learning someone new and having fun with that, like you play better when you're having fun. If you're in a good mental state because you're having fun, then you're going to play better. Like it just goes hand in hand, at least in my opinion.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Do you have thoughts on the one tricking, Mr. Zillion?
I do. I mean, I actually, like, if you guys want to hear about my theory of having fun, go listen to my solo episode about Teemo. Yeah, I have some thoughts on that. They're a little bit monstrous, but I think you might like them. Anyway, yeah, like, I do. So the one trick for me right now is getting stuck in your head. Like, that's just the fucking theme of it. I'm stuck in my head in multiple ways with my 2 one tricks. Now, and people may not know this about me, but I do actually branch out from time to time. And when I do, I really do commit. Like it's I don't do 5 games of normals and then I'm done. Like, and Blake Wise Papa Smurf can like attest to this. When I played Vlad, like I jumped in, with both feet into a puddle of blood, and it was just nuts. Like I just went crazy, and I would just see how fast I could go or how fast I could kill somebody. And I had games where I was like 0-6 is Vlad in the first like 12 minutes. Like you've never seen me play aggressive, most of you, but I really did. I went freaking crazy, and I think like that sort of limit testing and experimenting it was very healthy for me. I do think when it comes to champion stuff, I tend to pick things that are kind of lofty. So, like, for instance, I picked Cassiopeia as my first, like, branch off, right? And I can play her at the plat level. I really can, because I've won plat games with Cassiopeia. But, like, I also learned through that trial and error that, like, I don't want to climb to plat as Cassiopeia. Like, it's just kind of like, it's hard and it sucks when you lose. Now, that was before Conqueror was around, so, like, it's a little bit different. And the builds have changed over the years. And the next, I think I did Aurelian Soul. And I need to, like, you know what I mean? These lofty fucking goals, dude. So, like, I need to, like, tone it down a little bit and try Syndra. You know what I mean?
I think Syndra is totally in your wheelhouse.
Right.
I think it's miserable to play against a good Syndra. Like, her stun and her combo, she doesn't even need her ult. Like, her combo of Q, stun, toss it on you, that can, like, 80% you.
Yeah.
You know, like, you know, like 8 minutes in the game. It's fucking miserable.
You're just in time, too. She's getting nerfed this patch.
Oh, she is getting nerfed this patch. That sounds great, because then...
It's just a nerf to the E cooldown, though. Like, honestly, like, it's good for making her not as oppressive in lane, but, like, if you learn how to play Syndra, she'll still be fine.
Yeah,
Isn't she like a bot laner now because she's so strong? Is that what they're trying to do?
She's actually in the top 3 in bot lane.
Okay, yeah.
It's
fuck
Syndra,
that noise.
Yasuo, and someone else who's not a... Yeah, Cassiopeia, yeah. Those are the 3 best bot laners. So I can see why the ADCs might be complaining just a little.
Touch, yeah. No, for sure.
I need to be playing more Syndra in the bot lane because I love playing her, and I, like, kind of picked it up this season in bot lane. Like, when I used to play a lot of mid, she was already one of my picks. So now I'm ADCing. I think I need to just pick her more often because it does feel like if you're, like, especially one of the friends I play with the most, he mains Thresh. Like, if you hit a stun on Syndra, person's just dead because they're about to get hooked right after the stun, and then they're gonna get queued again. Like, they're just dead.
DC Jane will be insane.
Yeah, so good.
No, I think what Zill does really well, like you said, is commit to trying out a new character. Now you can find out that character is not for you, right? You can say, you know, in the end, he doesn't like Cassiopeia as much as he likes other champs, right? And that's okay. It's still nice
just a lot of work.
It's nice to have that pick available and use it. But it doesn't mean that you have to climb with it. Mm-hmm. But I think with Vlad, I think that's a great experiment because you are not an aggressive player, right?
No.
You like to make the other person miserable, right?
Yeah.
And you don't do that through killing them. You do that through making them stay in lane, making them go up against you, making them look at your face constantly.
Just be frustrated, like with me being here, annoying. Yeah.
That's your goal. And there's nothing wrong with that. Well, I mean, the other mid laner might disagree, but
sure.
You know,
ideally.
But it's good. It's good to expand your bounds. It's good to, like, see what's out there, and you might hate it. And what did it cost you? It cost you 5 games. You know, cost you maybe 10 games if you want to really, you know, like, hard commit and see if you can learn a kit. But I guarantee you that information is valuable because next time you go up against a Cassiopeia, you know exactly what her kit does and what she's trying to do with it. So even if you didn't enjoy playing it, you now better understand how to play against it. The value is just there. And I think that's really brave of you, Zill, especially considering how one tricky you are. I also want our community to understand. I still agree with one tricky. Like 1 to 3, like, champs is a good pool to climb with. That doesn't mean you can't change what those champs are.
Especially when you're stuck. I think this is, and what we've all testified to here is that we got stuck, and then we had to change, right? If you were still playing 16 different champions and you're stuck, then you need to do the one tricking thing instead, right? You need to change it up and focus. We're talking about changing up the focus once you've already achieved it. I think this interesting part for me is this flex Q thing. Because when I remember when Flex Q came out, right? Like, how was that experience for you guys? What did you think of it? Like, do you have the same opinion of Flex Q now as you did, or did that change for you at all?
I think it changed for me because I think when it very first came out, I was like, well, why aren't they just doing team ranked again? Like, I kind of felt like it was like, well, why are they changing this? Why? and I think it's better now. Like, I think it's better that there's some flexibility with flex queue, that you can go in with a different amount of people, so you don't have to absolutely have 5 people there to be able to play it.
Yeah.
I think that's a good change for making it feel less intimidating. But I feel like it's the same. It's a good, like, it has a very good place right now in League. I think it's
Okay.
it's less intensive as solo queue, but it still, people are still trying. People are still trying to win, but I don't feel like I'm so bogged down by, oh my god, if I lose this game, I'm losing 18 LP. Like, if I lose a game and I do lose 18 LP, it's just like, whatever. Like,
Yeah.
okay.
And so, like, I think that has changed for me, because when that first came out, and even like 6 months into it or a year into it, I think I was still experiencing it as when I would go in solo, because I had people who were saying what Danger was saying then, and they were like, "Yeah, try Flex Queue, man. Just try to solo in that. It's basically the same thing. It just it kind of resets everything for you." And it was like the mad scientist lab. It was like normals times 10. Like, I was getting Heimerdinger jungles and shit, and I'm like, where is this coming from? Like, who's doing this? And you know, and also, like, who finds this fun? I at least want this to still be competitive in some way, and not just be like, you know, LP that is meaningless because no one takes it seriously. So I don't know. I am excited to try it. I don't know why I didn't think of it earlier, and I'm so happy that Danger did think of it for us, because, like, this sounds exciting. It sounds like resetting, with a different champion is something I can absolutely do, and I'm excited to do. And having a different queue to do it in, where I start out at Silver 2, because I think that's what I've bogged down to, playing with friends in Flex Queue. It sounds like a blast. Like, yeah. So let's go. Yeah.
Yeah, I had a very similar experience to you. When Flex first came out, I used it to get to Gold 4 for the Chroma. Right?
Yeah, that's what I did. Yeah.
I was like, get the Gold 4 for the Chroma, then I'm bouncing. And then after, because it was a weird place.
It was a weird place.
It was an odd beast, and you just had to, like, okay, we're gonna slog through 15 Flex games. I'm gonna get my Gold 4, and then I'm gonna say peace. You know.
Yeah. It felt like threes, like when you played Twisted Tree Line back in the day.
As I've climbed through Plat, I've found it more competitive than I thought it would be. As far as how the people play and what they pick, I haven't seen weird picks. I haven't seen I haven't I haven't seen Heimerdinger Jungle. I haven't seen, like, Elise Tops. I haven't seen things that might work, that someone might be experimenting with. I did not experience that in my climb, except for when I played with Dark Snipe and Astros, and then they chose weird picks. So my people chose weird picks. I do like playing with them. They're a lot of fun, but we definitely do have a negative win percentage. So I was like, do you want to play a Norm? And he's like, Flex? And I'm like, fuck. This was just as I was thinking of climbing a Flex.
Right.
I was like, Plat 2 or something like that. And I'm like, things are going really good. I mean, both of them are better players than me, hands down. Better mechanically, 100%. There's no doubt in my mind. They can pick up way more champions than I could ever pick up at a moment's notice. But we do lose together. So we, like, played like 3, we won 1, we lost 2, and I'm like, well, that could have gotten worse. And then we played a 4th and we lost, and I was like, oh, it did worse. But for the most part, during the climb, normal picks. Doesn't mean that we're in off rolls, right? It might be a jungle main who's doing ADC, but he wasn't doing crazy stuff. I have a small rant, very small. Kaisa, do not last hit with your Q. You can't do it right. None of you do it right. Stop last hitting with your fucking Q. You're all so bad at it. And there's so many Kaisas right now. They're everywhere. And I see them prep the wave. They're like, I'll hit this one, then this one, then this one, and then I Q and get none of them.
That's so funny because I recently playing ADC. I was like, you know what? I think I want to add Kai'Sa to my repertoire, and I do a lot of Q farming.
It's like,
Nice.
like
Nice.
if you just use an auto attack and it's your only chance to get it, go for it. I get it. Like, use your W and get it. I get it. No problems. But when like every Kai'Sa, and I'm getting a lot of them right now, and I actually like Kai'Sa with Galio. I can apply
Sure.
so much CC that I can stack her passive so fast. Except they're always down 20 CS because they try and fucking less hit with their Q, and it's not a good less hit button. It doesn't do that much damage to single targets. Don't
Right,
do
it
it.
spreads
Okay.
out.
Rant over. Stop it, Kai'Sa. Fuck you. But normal picks, competitive environment, people aren't assholes. I can't say that enough. The amount I went back to solo queue today because I'm diamond in flex queue. I don't even want to fucking touch flex queue right now. I want blue. I want to see blue. I've never seen blue. I think that's really fucking cool.
Yep.
Other people might not. You could call me hard stuck plat and not even count it. Don't care. Fuck you. I did it. It's gonna be my border.
That's awesome, man.
So I go back to solo queue. First game. What is it? It's just like a fucking flashback. This person flamed me all last game. They're fucking terrible. This is in the pre-game lobby.
Yep.
Come on, guys. So I'm not gonna believe them. It's the ADC. They pick Vayne. Let's go. We can do this. She gets caught twice, blames me, stops playing, and I'm like, oh, hi solo queue. I forgot what you were like. This is so cool.
Waiting for you there all along. Anytime you were ready to come on back. Yeah.
And there it is. It went full circle. But now I feel like my ranked anxiety, because I did do so well in flex queue, it's way down though in solo queue. Like I got hard trolled. I demoted from plat 3 to plat 4, and I was like, all right, well, let's play again. Because what I've always tried and done, and what I encourage everyone to do who listens to this podcast, is focus on what you can control. I can't control that an asshole joined my lobby, was already tilted,
Sure.
and then proceeded to tilt further. Muted them after their first death, and they pinged me like crazy. Didn't care to hear the rest of it. Did they rage text the rest of the time? Did I see them stop on their way to lane multiple times for like 30 seconds
Yes.
when I know that they were typing in a dissertation about how terrible I am? Absolutely.
Yep.
I was well aware. But I didn't read it, and that makes me happy.
Yep.
Because then my jungler would be like, it's not worth yelling at him. He's already muted you. So, does it exist? Absolutely. But for me, I'm trying to focus on my game. And I encourage you to focus on your own game. I encourage you not to become a keyboard warrior, because that is not going to help you climb at all. You can try and encourage them. I do it sometimes when people are flaming me, be like, you got this, man. You know, like top, they're 0-3, they're having a miserable time. I understand it. Like, no one has fun with that. So I'm like, hey, dude, you got this. Now, if he comes back with fuck you and fuck your mother, then I just mute you. And
I pep talk top laners because I know how that feels. Yeah, but
right, it sucks.
Yeah.
But my anxiety. So when you're climbing solo queue, I get anxiety. 38-year-old man still get anxiety while I'm playing ranked queue, because it's a competitive environment. If you're out playing hockey, if you're out at the Y playing basketball, you still want to win. Like, everyone who plays a game is playing to win. I don't care if you're sitting down and playing cards. If I'm playing Go Fish, I don't want to lose. You know, like, because you want to win the game. It is more fun. You know. Like,
sure.
So everyone's I say everyone's trying to win, unless someone is purposely trying to make you lose, which we have all seen and experienced. But most people are trying to win, and that creates a certain level in your head that, like, can sometimes be difficult to get past. I found going to flex queue, for one, it's far less, as we said it over and over again, just less anxiety over there. Less chance that there's a lower chance that someone's going to yell at you.
It sounds like winning was a healing process for you, Danger. Like,
yes. But even if I didn't hit diamond, I would have enjoyed my time in flex queue more than I was enjoying my time in solo queue. And I 100% believe that, because I had started buckling down and getting serious.
Sure.
And then I lost my diamond promos I lost the first 2 games. And I was like, that's all right. I stopped playing for right then, right?
Good for you.
I lost 2 games in a row. Not a good idea to go for that 3rd game right there. Because even if mentally I'm like, well, I played well in both games, or I actually didn't play well at all in the first one. You know, like I went for engages that were outside of our chance of victory, right?
Sure.
Because we had already lost a couple, and then I went for engages that would have been good engages if we were even, but they're bad engages because we were behind.
Right.
And so I ended up forcing some fights that ended up going negatively. I did not play well. Second game, I think I played very well. We didn't win, but it was a competitive game. It was back and forth. It was like a 35-minute game. And then at that point, I'm like, okay, back off. Come back to it later. I came back for my 3rd game, and I didn't feel like that same anxiety, like, pull in the pit of my stomach. Because I'm like, you always try and remind yourself, right now we're mid-season, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if I didn't hit my diamond promos there, I really felt like I could get back. I got a high win percentage. I'm playing well. Try and remind yourself of things like that when you're playing. And if you're in a losing game, focus on a skill that you can improve on, right? So like you can always take value away from the game. And try and have fun. And I had a lot more fun in Flex Queue than I have been in solo queue.
Well, man, I'm excited to try it. Like, that inspires me. So thank you. That's really awesome.
Yeah.
Even old guys can get to diamond.
And if your personal like goals are to climb, because that's also like I understand a lot of people who are going to be listening to podcasts and actually like looking for league content, their goals to be to climb. Like if that is your end goal, that's how you have fun with league. The number one way to climb will get you better is just focusing on you. You are the lowest common denominator in every single one of your games. So it doesn't matter that Thresh in your last game fed or whoever fed in your last game. Like you're the one who's going to be in your next game.
Mm-hmm.
So when I first made my climb to diamond, I literally made a spreadsheet where I had like different columns. I would write the champion I played. I would write how I thought I did in lane, what I wanted to work on for next game if I thought I did something specifically bad in that game, and how much LP I got or how much I lost. And I did like a little spreadsheet that was all focused on me and my play. And like that just helped me major focus in on just myself and how I was playing, so that I wasn't at the end of the game going, man, if this player just did this, we could have won that game. It's like, it doesn't matter. Like that, even if that's true, because that's going to be true sometimes, like it doesn't help to fixate on it. And we're all guilty of doing it at times, but as long as you learn from something like better down the road that like helps you personally, like that's what you need to get out of it if you actually want to climb.
Yeah. One thing with that too is so I used to play a lot of StarCraft 2 competitively. Like that was really fun for me. And I got to, I think, plat somewhere in there, and like that was, you know, it was a lot of fun, but it was a lot of work. The 1v1 StarCraft environment's very competitive, right? And I remember the one thing I would do to get better at games was watch replays. And I would watch replays of myself playing over and over again. I would time, you know, am I doing this correctly at the correct time? And I was very detail-oriented with that. I have a hard time with League of Legends watching my own replays, especially after I've just lost, right? Like, it's heartbreaking, for, you know, like, to watch everything just, like, fucking fall apart again after you've already, like, experienced it the first time. But what I did do the other day is I went back and I watched a couple of replays on games that had happened 2 or 3 days in the past, and I had kind of forgotten. But the KDAs weren't abysmal, but I didn't necessarily win big either. But they were definitely losses. And I went back and looked at those losses, and I went to like key plays when certain dragons were taken and things like that. I just watched myself play for a bit. And one of the things is, you know, then the memories start coming back. I'm like, oh yeah, I remember how this went. But like the bias there, the angst that I held in my chest was gone. I was able to kind of cleanly look at it and go, okay, maybe I can see what I'm thinking there as I'm moving, you know, down through the river. I'm thinking the next call is dragon, and I'm not paying attention to the fact that my jungler backed because he just got chunked out, you know, near the enemy blue buff or something like that. And it started to like piece together, okay, my map awareness is like really shitty right now, even though I just won lane, and that's why we didn't get this dragon. And so things like that started to come to me. So I do encourage you guys. Like I found that viewing replays helps, but also and having people review your games helps. But definitely take that step back first, because that's like you are super biased at first, and you hold the game in your head so concretely well. You can find faults in everything everyone else is doing, and even not see your own mistakes the second time you do the game.
Yeah.
That self-realization is huge. Like,
Yeah.
I played a game where I was like 1-8, and I was like, I know I fucking killed it that game. I am 100% sure. I don't care that I was 1-8 and 12.
Right, right.
Or what. I know that I was great that game. And I went back and reviewed it, and I was like, you were not great, buddy.
Yeah, but I felt good. Right? It's
like I could say, like, oh yeah, you got a 4-man taunt by yourself.
Yeah.
What the fuck is that gonna matter?
Yeah.
Way to go. You so good.
Yeah.
But then I reviewed the next game, and that was like a 2-8 game, and I did actually play well, and I'm like, oh, I do like this play here. Now, I would have liked if the ADC would have joined me or something like that, but that doesn't mean that it's a bad play. I encourage you to get out of your head for KDA too, right? We all get so obsessed with what's our KDA, like how many kills do I have? I mean, I'm a support player, so that's not deterministic for me. But I've had top players. Okay, I was 2-10 as Scion top in Plat 1. I'm not a Scion top Plat 1, by the way. The Jax obliterated me. He was 0-5 in lane. But I still thought I played pretty good for my skill level.
Sure.
Right? I went back and reviewed. We won the game. I built all health, all tank, and in the end, I was able to absorb enough damage in the last fight that our person would teleported back door and won the game, right? So I died, popped back up, punched him in the face a few more times, and then we won.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah.
And I could have easily tilted at 0-5-0. That's certainly possible, but it wasn't. We just lost recording.
We did. How do we want to do this?
I have no idea. We lost Wormlax too, right?
Yeah. Wormlax dropped.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll just start it back off.
So we're just going to record. All right, yeah. How did we do this last time? Huh?
I mean, I say we just fire it back up and we like classic LOLA glitch, and then I'll just.
All right, then you do that. 3, 2, 1.
Classic LOLA glitch there. And we're back. So you can stay cool. You can get past a bad game, but it is important, as Zill said, for that self-realization. You may think that you were playing great. You may not have been. You may, and like I said, it may not reflect in the KDA, but you may have played a very good game. That doesn't mean you can't find areas to improve, but also watching back one of your good games can have value. You can say, like, I really like how I pressed the advantage here. I need to do that more often. Sure. I really liked how I got a deep ward here that let us know where their enemy jungle was, and it allowed us to rotate bot side and get a 2-man kill, right? Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of value from that. And I know Blake has done a really good job of reviewing VODs and putting them up as coaching sessions. You can review some of those. I know Double Sniff did one recently to help out Mr. Abstruse, who's trying out Warwick jungle. There are a lot of guys in the community who are really good at certain guys. Blake, who's good at every support that's ever existed, plus 19 supports that aren't real supports, but he finds a way to make work. There's a lot of good information, and all you have to do is hop into Discord, go to the coaching request channel, or and just ask for a VOD review, and normally someone will help you out.
Yeah. I did not upload it, but I also did I've done some VOD reviews for a member of the LOLA community, Journey. He's an ADC main in Silver, so I've been doing VOD reviews for him. I will personally do VOD reviews for pretty much every lane except for jungle, because I suck at jungle. But yeah, I think a really good comparison too, if you've ever watched a Pro League of Legends game, which I think a lot of people who obviously like solo queue are going to like watching the pro scene. There's times where you watch and you go, I can't believe X pro player did this. X pro player made a mistake. And you can catch a mistake as a low level player watching a pro game. If a pro player can make a mistake that you can catch, think about what mistakes you could catch watching your own games. Like,
Yeah, really though.
that's why you can't ever fixate on, oh, there's no way I could have played better to win this game. Like, maybe you couldn't have played, like, you would have had to play perfect to like win the game outright, but there's always things that you can do better to play. And it's amazing how much that step back and watching it from a VOD standpoint makes you instantly go, holy hell, what is this idiot doing walking forward to get caught here? That idiot is me. What am I doing?
Yeah, what am I doing? Yeah. I see no one on the map, and I'm still face checking that bush. Yeah.
I know we just saw them at blue, and that was 10 seconds ago, but there's no way that they've wandered all the way to Tri-Bush.
I really want this wave.
The Wood League theme music starts to play in the background. Yeah.
I'll go for it. It'll be fine. They
Yeah.
won't punish me. They're plat players. They wouldn't punish. I'm only a plat player too, but I'm sure they won't punish me. Yeah, so
Awesome.
I really encourage people to, if they want a VOD review, come to the LOLA Discord and ask for it. But also make sure you, like, I would say watch a game of your own first, because it's amazing how much you pick up on your own too. Because you might need some specifics, like you might not have the tool set to say, okay, I'm not sure exactly how to fix this issue that I have, but you're going to notice the issues really easily. So, yeah.
Cool. Well, I think we're going to wrap it up there. I do want to mention that we were having a LOLA ARAM tournament coming up on June 1st. This may be the last podcast you get to hear before that pops. But yeah, 7 p.m. Central Time. We've got 5 teams doing round robin. They're all ready to go. We got team captains ready to go. Danger, I know you're an ARAM guy. Are you playing this time?
I don't believe I'm playing, but I might be able to cast some of it.
I would love that. That would be awesome. Let's do it.
I will tear our community a new one for
That
every
sounds excellent.
ARAM mistake I see. I encourage everyone participating in the ARAM tournament. I don't care if you're diamond. I don't care if you're bronze. Go review the episode that we did about ARAM about 6 months ago. That is fucking gold.
Yes.
I am telling you. This is from the mind of a man who obsesses over ARAM.
This is the top shelf of podcasting material for
queue,
LOLA.
but I will tilt my head off in ARAM if you don't clear the fucking wave. So just clear the wave.
Yeah.
You win the game.
Love it. Love it. Awesome, guys. Well, thanks, everyone. We'll see you later.
Bye.
Good night, everybody. All right, wait till all this uploads.
I don't know why I literally didn't lose internet or anything. I just randomly disconnected.
Yeah.
No, I don't think it was you because our thing stopped recording too. So.
Okay.
Well, it stopped because he dropped. That's.
Oh, it stopped because he dropped. Okay, I gotcha. I didn't know if it was if the two were linked, but.
Yeah, I was like, oh great. I was ready to look down at my connection and have none, but.
Oh, there it was.
Yeah.
Apparently the website just didn't like me. Kicked me out.